Covering news where you live, this is 5 News.
Well, thank you for joining us here today for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Jo Ellison. Now, President's Day is today, and it is celebrated every year on the third Monday in February, originally established in 1885 in honor of President George Washington. It was moved to a Monday in 1971 in an attempt to create more three-day weekends for workers. Now, as a federal holiday, many banks and post offices will be closed today. Keep that in mind if you have to head out to run any errands. Now, these include federal and state courts, as well as non-essential government offices like the DMV. The U.S. Postal Service will not be delivering mail today either, and most banks will be closed since today is considered a bank holiday. All right, before we get to other news of the day, let's get a check of the weather with meteorologist Zach Scott. And Zach, it's going to be a nice warm day today.
Yeah, nice, warm, spring-like weather, not just today, but the next couple of days. Joe, we're not anticipating that the chilly weather will arrive until we get into Thursday and Friday. We're going to have mild weather today. Tomorrow, Pacific front comes in across Texas and Oklahoma as we go through the day. Wednesday, thunderstorms develop out ahead of it. The difference is, again, behind Arctic fronts, you get colder air, Pacific fronts. There is no push of cold air behind it. So we're still going to be mild for this time of year. Wednesday, we do get a cold front to drop in from the north Thursday morning. That will usher in the colder air as we go Thursday into Friday. 60s and 70s. That's what we'll be tracking as we go through your Monday, your Tuesday. And again, even as we get into Wednesday, that rain's going to come in more morning to early afternoon, so we'll have a chance for temperatures to warm a little bit as some sunshine tries to come in late afternoon Wednesday. Again, looking at those 60s and 70s for your Tuesday. There's the storm system I'm talking about. It's hanging out south of California. Today and tomorrow, we'll start to lift northeast across the Lone Star State towards Oklahoma and Arkansas as we go through the early morning hours Wednesday. By late morning, early afternoon, we'll see those rain chances picking up across eastern Oklahoma and western Arkansas. You see the reds and yellows and oranges showing up in there. We will have enough instability around that I think even a couple of days out, we can go ahead and start saying there'll likely be a strong storm or two mixing in. Right now, it doesn't look like widespread severe weather. We're going to have to continue to get a better picture of exactly what the environment's going to look like. But as it stands right now, I do think enough instability is there to warrant the mention of some gusty winds and some pockets of hail. Again, that best chance coming 9, 10, 11 a.m., picking up across eastern Oklahoma. And then again, as we go late morning, early afternoon, moving through western Arkansas, those rain chances are likely 90 to 100% chance, Joe. We'll continue to track it the next couple of days.
All right. Thanks so much, Zach. Well, tomorrow, Metta, the man you see here, is scheduled for a hearing in the Western District of Texas. Efforts to bring the federal suspect back to Arkansas were delayed after the judge handling the case granted it. Metta was arrested by the FBI in Texas after they say they found explosives in his Fort Smith home. Agents say Metta is also suspected of committing tax fraud and illegally importing weapons. Federal agents arrested him in Austin earlier this month. They believe he left there after learning of the raid on his home. The Justice Department is now asking a judge to bring Metta back to Arkansas to face charges. This is a look at what federal agents say they found searching the Fort Smith home. While the extradition matter moves forward, prosecutors are also planning to put evidence before a grand jury to figure out if any other charges will be filed. And a Mulberry police officer seen in a video of a violent arrest back in August has been reinstated. Officer Riddle is now back to work after being under investigation. Chief Gregory with the Mulberry Police Department confirmed this to 5 News. Officer Riddle was part of a violent arrest in mid-August that went viral after he, along with 2 Crawford County deputies, were recorded on top of Randall Worcester kneeing and slamming his head on the ground. The arrest happened at a convenience store in Mulberry. The 3 law enforcement officers involved were fired more than a month after that investigation was launched. And this week, the 2 finalists for the superintendent of the Fayetteville Public Schools District have their interviews with the school board. The first interview is today with Anthony Rossetti. The second interview is on Wednesday with Brad Swafford. The board hopes to make a decision shortly after. The new superintendent will replace John Colbert, who is retiring this summer. The new post starts July 1st. Now, don't forget, all week long, we're celebrating Restaurant Week in Fayetteville. Experience Fayetteville had a proclamation ceremony at Slim Chickens, also marking the 20th anniversary of the chain's first location. More than 50 different restaurants are participating, with many offering giveaways and special menu items. Some of the restaurants participating include Atlas, Bliss Cupcake Cafe, Cafe Rue Orleans, and Hammond Trees, just to name a few. And some businesses are working to help end food insecurity right here at home. Tyson Foods American Ancestry Alliance business, the Resource Group, donated 40,000 pounds of protein to the Northwest Arkansas community. Now, that is equivalent to 160,000 servings. It all happened at a drive-through donation event at the St. James Missionary Baptist Church in Fayetteville. We spoke with people involved to hear just what giving back means for them.
You know, one of the things that Black history is all about, for me, is about showing love. And what better way to show love to people than to serve people? And that's why it's so important for me. And that's what Black History Month represents to me. No matter what's been done to you, no matter how people still treat you today, overcoming all obstacles, you still have to show love to people despite it all. And that's what Black history is, showing love.
In 2022, Tyson donated more than 18 million pounds of protein to food banks and hunger relief organizations in Tyson plant communities. Well, if you have a high school senior and they're looking to go to college this fall, there is an event in Fort Smith you and your child won't want to miss. 5 News anchor Darren Bobb tells us it's all about finding scholarships.
It can be a very difficult process when it comes to finding the right scholarships or knowing how to fill out those federal student loan papers. That's exactly what will be discussed at a career and scholarship fair in Fort Smith next month. It's being organized by the Delta Sigma Theta sorority Fort Smith chapter and the local NAACP.
We both believe in education, scholarship, and service to our communities, especially those that are disadvantaged and underserved.
Roper says the whole idea behind this fair is to make it easy to wade through the sea of scholarships.
Our purpose of our fair is to bring access and resources to high school students that may not be aware of all of the information, scholarships that are available, FAFSA, deadlines, all those things, and entrepreneurship. Non-traditional and traditional career pathways.
And while the focus is on the student,
we want the parents there because that's a key component to filling out the FAFSA. They have to input their information, their income, right? And so in order for these kids to be eligible, we need the parents to be there.
Roper says having events like this are vital to the community.
We hear a lot of information from teachers, parents that are like just sometimes overwhelmed and completely unaware. And it's important because these are our children and they're our future. I mean, I know that's cliche, but it's, your children, your community. So we want to provide as much information, access, and resource to empower them to go far.
Covering the news where you live, Darren Bobb, 5 News.
Now, the event will be held Saturday, March 11th at the Stevens Boys and Girls Club on North 6th Street in Fort Smith, starting at 11 a.m. Door prizes will also be given away. Well, thank you for joining us here today for the latest news and weather where you live. Make sure to catch up with us again tomorrow right here for more.